Let's start. Where were we? Section 22 है ना.
Recording in progress.
Okay, let's start everybody. We were in section 22. We were talking about registration, and we saw only simple things yet. That when the registration is completely compulsory. Yes, Chalia? Liable for registration. So it depended. First of all, whatever we have seen in 22 was turnover. Correct, Chalia? Turnover from the business of supply of goods or services or both within the state. If at all you noticed, okay, let us check that. Okay, where he makes a taxable supply. Okay, if his aggregate turnover in a financial year exceeds what limits we are seeing, much 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 40 lakhs. For the biggest, I mean, if you're doing exclusive goods, correct? If you're doing much exclusive goods for all big states, the limit was 40 lakhs. Other than special states and UT also, but which had much limit of 20 lakhs, Pondicherry and Puducherry and Telangana. Correct? Then we come to special states. Special states, बच्चों, we had 40 lakhs and what, 10 lakhs or what? हाँ है ना? I mean, that is at least the point we were discussing. तो MMNT we had discussed है ना? Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura and Nagaland. Correct? इसलिए all of you, these four have the limit of 10 lakhs. Then the bigger states, special states, were which one? Assam, JNK and HP. Is it right? They had the limit of 40 lakhs. So remaining bachcho, all the special states have the limits of 20 lakhs. Is that correct? Okay, all of it. That will be also in a way, remember, I mean, that will be easier for you to remember. Okay? Then again, let us talk about other things now. Then exclusive supply of services. Okay, now services. Now, honestly, bachcho, services, there is no cost towards services as such. I mean, what I'm trying to tell you, when you're selling a goods of 100 rupees, maybe the manufacturing cost or your margin, whatever, will be very negligible or small. Okay, maybe, I'm just saying maybe. It will not happen that you're manufacturing an item at 20 rupees and selling at 100. That will not never happen. At least in normal cases, normal goods I'm talking about. So automatically the turnover of goods in a normal business will be very high. Services, bachcho, is what completely dependent on your value, how much you want to charge. Services. So the threshold limit of services, bachcho, is lower than goods. Okay. So pay attention. So if at all a dealer, okay, a dealer, bachcho, supplier, is doing supply of only services, CA, CS, CMA, consultant, doctor, engineer, consultancy services. Hi, Anna. Yes. All of you. Correct? Only services. Or I'm talking of other categories where your supplier is making supply of both goods as well as services. Okay, all your contract works. Yes, Chelia. Then works contract. Then all your which one? There is a garage shop. He is supplying goods as well as services. Correct, Chelia? So understand, a separate category is only for exclusive goods. And if at all you're doing only services, it is still under the category of if at all you're doing goods as well as services. Means what, bachcho? Understand. Let us say I'm talking about you are an internet service provider. Internet service provider. Is it okay? So you're not providing any other goods. So you are exclusive service. Yes or no? And let us say I give you another example. Garage. Garage workshop. They provide service as well as goods. Remember earlier? Now both of them, bachcho, will be under the same category. Clear or no? Did you understand, everybody? Let me tell you one more thing. Chalo, I think that will also help you to understand. When GST started, 2017, we did not have any separate limits for goods and services. Okay? So instead of overall increasing the threshold limit, they said we will increase the threshold limit only exclusively for goods. Are you getting my point, everybody? So we'll see, bachcho, today, as of today, the majority of the location today, bachcho, have the threshold limit of 40 lakhs for exclusive goods. Are you getting my point, everybody? Bolo, tell me quickly. Yes? Fine. So this enhanced threshold limit बच्चों were exclusively for goods. ठीक है? So if you're doing only services or you're doing services and goods, then बच्चों the original limits are applicable. चलेगा? Is it okay? Okay, fine. Check here. What limits? Everywhere बच्चों you have 20 lakhs. So nice. Everywhere बच्चों you have original limit of 20 lakhs. That's it, done. अरे हाँ, everywhere बच्चों 20 lakhs. Except MMNT, है ना? Remember MMNT. MMNT. Clear? Only they have बच्चों what? They are special and small. Okay? So they have बच्चों limit of 10 lakhs. Basically now check for MMNT. They are so special and small that we have kept them 10 lakhs limits either for goods only or services only or services and goods. Did you understand? Everybody, bolo quickly. All okay? अरे हाँ या ना? So only services बच्चों Telangana how much? 20 lakhs. Only services Rajasthan बच्चों how much? 20 lakhs. Only services बच्चों J&K how much? 20 lakhs. Assam 20 lakhs. Correct or no? And if a supplier is doing goods and services, still the same limits. Arunachal Pradesh, okay, Sikkim, not Sikkim, yeah, Sikkim also, Himachal Pradesh, 20 lakhs. हाँ या ना, all of you. Clear? Only MMNT बच्चों, these 4 states will have services or services and goods 10 lakhs. Clear earlier? Yes, that means you'll have to remember a little bit only for exclusively for goods. Is it okay? Can we go ahead? Sure. So what is the wording used bachcho in section 22? 22 only, no? We are doing aggregate turnover. Aggregate turnover. Okay? Means total turnover bachcho is more than the threshold limit. Clear? Fine. So for that bachcho we'll have to understand what is aggregate turnover. है ना? Ready? Okay. Turnover in common understanding means total volume of the business. The term aggregate is defined as follows. 2.6. Pay attention now. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Okay? It includes. Aggregate turnover includes. It has been defined. Okay? Value of all outward supplies. Outward, है ना? Outgoing, sale, taxable supplies on which GST is applicable, exempt supplies on which GST is not applicable, exports on which GST is not applicable, that also we have seen bachcho, and interstate supplies. All of this bachcho will be taken into consideration of persons having the same PAN on all India basis. Let us say there is a dealer. That same dealer has 2 branches, one in Maharashtra and other in Himachal Pradesh. Maharashtra bachcho makes a sale in Maharashtra only branch. It is not a big business, okay? But he has one more branch in Himachal Pradesh, and again he makes bachcho business only in Himachal Pradesh. Are you getting my point, all of you? Yes, tell everybody. Let us say bachcho this guy is doing goods and services. I will not complicate it much. Goods and services. Clear earlier? From in Maharashtra, he is doing a taxable supply. That means such items on which GST is applicable. In Himachal Pradesh, bachcho, he is doing in only again interstate, but only of exempt supplies. Let us say alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Are हाँ या ना? Yes, clear? Or on which GST is not applicable. Understood? Or on which GST is 0. Okay, like milk, food, etc. Medical, whatever it might be. Fine, tell everybody. See, we are talking about registration. We are talking about registration. So in Himachal Pradesh, bachcho, if he is making a supply of such a item on which GST is not applicable or GST rate is nil. Okay, everybody. And tomorrow, let us say, okay, tomorrow he gets registered. He has to register, okay, let us say. So we'll register this branch and also register his branch. Does much registration by default directly means you have to pay tax? Today you are registered under Income Tax Act. Let us say you have PAN. Does it mean compulsorily you have to pay income tax? Doesn't mean that. Does registration but directly equal to tax liability? No, no. Are you getting my point? Registration but the main purpose is always identification. Point number one. Secondly, you get the power to charge tax, and thirdly, you get the also right to claim input tax credit. This will be your basic things. Tell me, everybody, are you all with me? Yes or no? Correct? That is the purpose. So here, pay attention. Now this guy, I mean, if at all you are understanding, he's same person having two branches in separate states. Both these branches are doing intra only. Sorry, not intra only. Okay, everybody, intra only, and that also of goods as well as services. So I hope you remember 20 lakhs and 10 lakhs. Yes or no? Purposely, I'm not keeping any branch of MMNT, Manipur, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. I'm not keeping. Okay, Himachal Pradesh. So even Himachal Pradesh, but your limit is 20 lakhs for goods and services. Maharashtra also, but 20 lakhs goods and services. Clear, Leo? In this case, bachcho, if in Maharashtra his turnover is 15 lakhs and Himachal Pradesh his turnover is 10 lakhs, okay, then he is the same person, hai ki nahi? So under the same PAN, we take bachcho on all India basis. Will he be liable or not liable? He will be liable. Clearly, all of you? He will be liable to be registered. Understood, Elia? We have lots of examples to do, so don't jump. Just have patience, okay? Till we finish all the examples, okay? Okay, Elia, all of you? So look at the now tomorrow. Let me just continue with the example. Now, because of his aggregate turnover all India basis, when we calculate aggregate basis, aggregate turnover, taxable, exempt, export, inter, whatever, we take all of them together. And if that much amount goes beyond our threshold limit, basic threshold limit, then we have to register. We will register every branch, especially those are in separate states. Now, does that mean Himachal Pradesh bachcho has to pay tax later on then? Your branch in Himachal Pradesh? Is the registration bachcho making the exempt supply as taxable supply? No, no. You are still selling fruits or whatever apples in Himachal Pradesh in the same state bachcho. Clear, Delia? Fine or no? You'll be paying tax on these items whichever you are supplying from Maharashtra only, within Maharashtra, let us say, whatever. Your registration bachcho common sense doesn't convert the exempt items into taxable items. Is it okay, everybody? Fine? Chalo. So we take a value of all in outward supplies, taxable, exempt, exports, interstate. Okay? Fine, Delia? Fine. Excludes, okay? Aggregate turnover bachcho excludes any kind of amount you are charging already. CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST, or even cess. Okay? Or value of inward supplies. What is inward supplies, bachcho? Purchases on which tax is payable under reverse charge. Okay? Ready? Just write down somewhere in your notebook, reverse charge. Reverse charge mechanism and forward charge mechanism. First, whatever you are doing was forward charge mechanism. Okay? A, supplier. B, recipient. Fine, Delia? Is it okay, everybody? Now, A is supplying or no? to B. And a supply of goods or services. Who will raise an invoice on whom? A will raise an invoice on B. Is it okay till here? Simple? Correct. And A bachcho will charge tax. Simple? Okay. So A, that is supplier levying taxes. है ना दिल्ली? And paying to government, obviously. Correct? The tax obviously is ITC for B. Clear? In the reverse charge mechanism, tax is collected and deposited by the recipient. Okay, I'm writing this also here. Out of pocket. And deposited by recipient. Same example. So A supplies. So A is still supplier. Okay. And B is your recipient. Hi Anna. Let us say bachcho, A made an invoice. Okay. Or invoice. Amount, let us say 100. And no tax over here. Are you getting my point? No tax. Is it okay? B bachcho will calculate and pay tax to government, not to A bachcho. He will not pay to A. In forward charge bachcho, what is happening? With the supply, the tax is getting levied. With the bachcho supply, the tax is getting levied. Here in reverse charge, what is happening? With the supply charge, the tax is not getting levied. With the purchase, in the inward, for the inwards bachcho, you yourself are collecting and paying the taxes. Collecting means what? You yourself, on that 100 rupees, let us say, you will calculate the tax amount and pay to the government. Clear till here? Now, when this can happen? At times, bachcho, when the supplier is a small businessman, so he is not registered. Clear? And on notified transactions, we have again a unit on that, separate unit. On the notified transaction, bachcho, it is compulsory the tax has to be paid under reverse charge mechanism. Fine till here? One small example, let me tell you. Let us say a independent director. Director giving services to a company of attending meetings. Yes or no? All of you okay till here? Director bachcho attending meetings of the company. Independent director. He gets bachcho what fees? Do you remember? You can write in short also, that is also okay. Correct. Sitting fees. Director sitting fees. Remember that bachcho, all of you? Now director bachcho will raise an invoice in the company that I attended your meeting. We agreed on the so and so director sitting fees per meeting. Hai na? He raise an invoice. The director bachcho will not charge tax. The director bachcho will not charge tax. The company will calculate tax and pay to the government. Understood? All of you? Is it okay? Now, what is common in FCM and RCM, forward charge and reverse charge? In both these examples, whether B is the recipient, hi Anna? Yes. In both these examples, B is the recipient. In both these examples, has B paid the tax? Tell me this. Yes, tax is paid, correct? Yes, B has paid the tax. So, recipient has paid tax for inward supplies. See, supply can be of goods or services, okay? What is common between both of them? tax is paid by recipient on inward supplies. Correct? So in forward charge, but to be understood, tax paid on inward supplies that we claim for ITC. So here also some of them students ask me, so logically again that is the same answer. Here even if B has paid out of pocket, ultimately the supplies, I mean the ultimate tax is paid to the government. The tax was paid for inward supplies. So again the recipient bacho gets the claim of ITC for the taxes paid, even if the taxes were paid under reverse charge mechanism. See, these cases are mainly dealt with where A is a small businessman, he is not under GST, not covered under GST. Clear to all of you? So, compliances cannot be done or compliances cannot be expected from a small taxpayer like A, for example. So here what are they saying? B, you are the big na, you are a registered person na, you can do this no on your own. So pay to the government. Why you want to pay to A and the A will pay to the government and A will file return and this and that. Okay, so when the supplier is generally again a small taxpayer, then again and like I said on notified transactions RCM is applicable. Is it okay everybody? Yes. So again for your understanding what I'm writing, ITC available for taxes paid through RCM for inward supplies, because concept or logic is still the same for inward supplies. But you write down this, come on, and once done let me know.
Recording stopped.
Akshay okay na? Akshay all of you? Okay, Niraj. Once done let me know, okay? Okay, fine.
Recording in progress.
Can you go ahead everybody? So what is the basic clear now? FCM and RCM? On notified transaction, notified, okay, notified supplies, tax has to be paid on reverse charge basis. Yes, done. Where you don't want to put the burden on the supplier. Now, but you ultimately tax goes to the government. Hi, Anna. Now again, if you remember the definition of business is government, or can government also provide? Can government also Can government also but to be a supplier? Possible? Any example bachcho have we discussed? Let me give you a very simple example. When you take bachcho some government license, not liquor license, okay, forget liquor to we have exempted or excluded. So food license, this license, that license, and you pay to the government. In that case bachcho government is a supplier, but government as such on that transaction will not levy GST or tax. In certain cases the recipient of the license will have to calculate and pay the taxes. Clear to all of you? Yeah. Okay. So what will you exclude? Any kind of CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST or cess. That means all the taxes under GST. Under GST. Ale हाँ. Clear till here? And value of inward supplies on which tax is payable under reverse charge. Can we go ahead everybody? Okay. Chalo, we'll be obviously doing examples, so don't worry. So aggregate turnover to exclude inward supplies on which tax is payable under RCM. Okay. Example, okay. The law gives you certain supplies like goods transport agency, GTA, goods transport agency. Consignment, which we have discussed a little bit, consignment. Transport, goods, not passenger, goods transport agency. Okay. Your trucks and all of that. Post or postal services. Legal services, lawyer does not charge GST in some cases. Okay. Sponsorship services, sponsoring, you understand, but is sponsorship. An event, program, function is sponsored. That is also service. So these are the service. I mean, some examples on which taxes are levied on RCM basis. Is it okay? Value of such supplies would not form part of aggregate turnover. Okay, everybody? Outward supplies taxable under RCM would continue to be a part of aggregate turnover of the supplier on the aggregate of the supplier of such services or the supplier of such supplies. I'll give you example. Pay attention. A, B. A is supplier that we are not changing and B is the recipient. Is it okay, bacho? Okay. Let us say A is sold to B furniture. Okay. All of you okay? Tell us sale supply. On furniture, बच्चों forward charge mechanism is applicable. Is it okay? अरे हाँ या ना? बच्चों, in whose turnover we will include furniture? Aggregate turnover. A or B? A. It is again an outward supply for A, na बच्चों. So we will add it in the outward supplies of A. Is it okay? And बच्चों, let us say A gives to B or any other person also. Okay? I mean, it can be anybody. Let us say, again I'm giving example of goods transport agency, GTA, goods transport agency. Okay, ready बच्चों? On GTA, RCM is applicable. हाँ या ना? Goods transport agency बच्चों, RCM is applicable. Now, if, okay, in this example, B is registered or whatever, we don't care. But this GTA, this value of GTA, goods transport, whatever charges they have taken for transportation of goods, in whose turnover it is not added? B's turnover, बच्चों, it is not added. Even if B is supposed to pay tax on the same. Where will be added? So outward supplies which are taxable under reverse charge will continue to be part of the aggregate turnover of the supplier. अरे हाँ या ना? Clear till here, all of you? So I'm writing here for, if you all again you want, you can write on there. Okay, Nitin. So both furniture and I'm writing GTA, that is GTA is goods transport, that is transport service, will be added in turnover of A supplier. That was forward charge mechanism. This was the reverse charge mechanism. है ना everybody? Done till all of you? Can we go ahead, everybody? Done?
Recording stopped.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
Can you go ahead, everybody? Chalo. Next one, question number 1. Example: Raghubir Private Limited pays GST on setting fees paid to its directors for the services rendered by them under RCM. Is it okay? So there is a director and this is Raghubir Private Limited. Who has given service to who? Director has given service to the company. But on this bacho RCM is applicable. So who will pay the tax? And will not add this amount of service in the inward supplies of R Private Limited. है ना? Value of service बच्चों by the director to the company will form aggregate turnover of the director and not of the company. Is it okay? Simple लिया. Then aggregate turnover excludes the element of CGST, SGST, so and so, and compensation cess. Aggregate turnover to include total turnover of all branches under the same PAN. Right, Leo? This to example I had given you some time back only, है ना? So aggregate turnover is calculated by taking together the value in respect of activities carried on all India basis. I give you just an example some time back. Maharashtra and Himachal Pradesh. In Maharashtra turnover 15 lakhs, in Himachal Pradesh 10 lakhs, we add. And then we check the threshold limit. है ना? Clear? Then we have to do lots of examples, don't worry. Okay? You may have a question, sir, what about if you have a branch in Manipur and one in Mizoram, or branch in Mizoram and one in Bengal? है ना? Those questions may also come. Okay, Delia? We'll do that also. Chalo. But basics to which we understand, na? Branch is different. So under GST, we take, if they are in separate states, we take them as separate distinct persons. Okay? Ready, bacho? Sure. A dealer X has 2 offices, one in Delhi, another in Haryana. Okay, no problem. Delhi, Haryana have same all the limits, na? Nothing unique. In order to determine whether X is liable for registration, turnover of both the offices will be taken into account, and only if the same turnover of both total. Only if the same exceeds the applicable limit, X will be liable for registration is also okay. Value of exports, do we add? Yes. Non-taxable items we add? Yes. Important. Value of export goods, services, exempted goods, services. Interstate also obviously we add, bacho, having same PAN. Clear? Important. This is important. Ready? Madhur Oils, Punjab, is engaged in supplying machine oil as well as petrol. Machine oil is taxable, petrol is not as of now. है ना? Supply of petrol is not liable to GST, but machine oil is. He supplies both. We add both of them. In order to determine whether Madhur Oils is liable for registration, turnover of both non-taxable as well as taxable bacho will be taken into account. And the same exceeds the limit, then he will be liable for registration. Is it okay, everybody? Are hi ya na? Simple daily are all okay? Clear? Can we go ahead? Next one. Aggregate turnover to include all supplies made by taxable person, whether on his own account or important, or made on the behalf of all of his principals. Tell me. Pay attention. Simple na, pay attention. Principal to agent was supplier, not supplier normally. I am not giving you any other complications. It was a supply. Remember? We had some explanation on that. Invoices in the name of principal or invoices in the name of agent and all. है ना? Correct. That was under Schedule 1. Even if it is without consideration, still supply between principal to agent is supply. Taxable. Therefore, obviously, agent to third party will also be supply. If principal to agent was supply, then obviously agent to third party will also be supply. No doubt about it. Clear, Delia? So check. Very important. Whether made on his own account or even made on behalf of all of his principals. Important. especially for बच्चों agent. See, generally an employee is working only for one employer at a time. This we had seen in chapter of salaries also, income tax. But an agent is free to work with many principals normally, again normal conditions, है ना? So all the supplies important now made by agent on behalf of multiple principals also, all of them will be added. So even if he sells on his own invoice number, invoice name, or बच्चों directly sells on the behalf of principal, but still all the sales by agent, all the supplies बच्चों by agent, in his own name or in the name of principal will be added. For what purpose? Registration purpose. Is it okay? Are you getting my point or no? This is an important, or you can say, nice example. Pay attention. Moini has appointed Bestfords and Associates as his agent. Moini is principal. This Bestfords and Associates as agent. Bestfords makes supply of goods in its own account, as well as on behalf of Mohini. Both supplies they are doing bacho on their own name and in the name of the principal. Both bacho will be added. All the supplies of goods made by Bestfords will be, as well as in their own name, as well as in the name of the principal, will be added in order to find out the aggregate turnover. Clear all of you? Okay or no? Everybody? Fine? Chalo. So star mark this, okay? And all supply done by agent in his own name or in the name of the principal. All we have to add while calculating aggregate turnover. Okay? And then again keep into mind, then you can keep in mind section 7, supply. Whether it is supply or not a supply. This is the common sense we know. There will be tax only if it is a supply. Hai? But for section 22, aggregate turnover, we check all the supplies by the agent. Is it okay? Chalo. Aggregate turnover versus turnover in a state. Aggregate means all India basis. Okay? Forget this is not again that important. Annual threshold limits which we have done. Goods and or services. Normally 20 lakhs. Everywhere if it is goods and or services, 20 lakhs. Yes, still here? This table which you have done as it is table you have understood, no? Fine. Now check. If a person with places of business in different states across India has one branch, any of the branch in a special category state, from which it makes a taxable supply. Yes, Celia? The threshold limit bachcho for registration will be reduced to 10 lakhs. What did you understand? If you're having bachcho multiple branches and those multiple branches may be having multiple threshold limits, okay, we will reduce to the lowest one, whichever is applicable. Clear, Leo? So, if you're doing bachcho, let us say business from Maharashtra and let us say what, Nagaland also. Hai na? Maharashtra and Nagaland. Then what will be the aggregate turnover limit for you? Aggregate, 10 lakhs, not 40 lakhs. Understood or no, all of you? Fine or no? We'll reduce the registration threshold limit to the lower one applicable to you. Khushbu okay? Nitin, tell me. Indrajit, Mansi, Akshay, bolo. पक्का ना? चलो. This also, did you understand or no? Tell me. We have covered this by the way, if you remember. Are you getting my point? If he's providing goods, but for providing of that goods, he also has to provide service of loan. Then bacho is what? Goods and services or only goods? Understand that example, important. is providing goods, and to provide those goods, he also gives the service of loan. Then what is it treated as? Supplying goods or supplying of goods and services? Bolo. Everybody answer. No. Answer is what, bachcho? Consider as engaged exclusively in supply of goods only. Badhir. Badhir, you guys are Badhir. Huh? We have discussed this before. There is supply of goods mainly. Okay? And service of loan. Are हाँ या ना? Service of loan means what? Providing loan. Providing loan is a service. Correct. Providing loan, bachcho, is a service. है ना? So even if he is engaged in exempt supply of services provided by way of extending deposit or loans or advances, for which he is getting interest, हाँ या ना? Then will be taken as only goods. Still bachcho, only goods. Okay? Are हाँ या ना? Write down there, bachcho. Star mark this. Okay? These small points you have to revise quickly later on. है ना? समझा? Clear to all of you? डन बच्चों, बोलो, इज ओके, आगे बढ़े, कैन यू गो अहेड? चलो. Further, notification number 10/2019 exempts any person who's engaged in exclusive supply of goods and whose turnover doesn't exceed 40 lakhs. This though I have covered, na. This amendment was given later on, 2019, not 17. Na. The Act came in 17. Okay. So what they said, if it is exclusive goods, then limit is 40 lakhs now. This though we have already covered now, bachcho. Okay. So then this guy bachcho will be included in which category? 40 lakhs category, depending on his state. But yes, 40 lakhs. Even if he is giving service of loan, he will be taken considered into what? Providing what? Goods. Exclusive supply of goods. Okay? Sure. Exceptions, as it bachcho will do that later on, but theek hai, chalo, we'll do that. That is, exceptions means what? That is, threshold limit of 40 lakhs not available. Okay? Which one? Person required to take compulsory ration under section 24, that we will do later on. So even if even if your threshold limit, even if your turnover limit is less than 40 lakhs, you may have to register. Okay? Person engaged in supplies of ice cream and other edible ice. Okay? Ice cream and other edible ice, like frozen ice cream or frozen desserts, whether or not containing cocoa. These numbers, are you understanding? What is these numbers? I remember you have discussed. That's why I'm asking you. Anything, bachcho? In chapter 1, what are these numbers, bachcho? Okay. What is HSN? What I had told you, I remember the example also. Bulb is different from tube light. Every item has a unique number at an international level. Okay, because so many items get imported and exported throughout the countries. So every item has a particular unique number. Okay. So HS and harmonics, system of nomenclature. Nomenclature means name. Okay. Harmonic means obviously all throughout all the countries they have agreed on some unique or uniform numbers. Okay. So 21050. So if you all you want for what are the code? ठीक है एवरीबॉडी? So every bachcho item has a unique code under GST or to be identified. Done? Pan masala and all goods of chapter 24. Okay? That is tobacco and manufactured tobacco substitute. Cheni, kheni and all of that you have. Okay? Whatever. Again, they are what? If at all you are doing that business, you will not get a limit of 40 lakhs. Then, person engaged in intra-state, in the states of AP, UK, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Telangana, Puducherry, and special category states like which one? MMNT, bachcho. They have limits of 20 lakhs, and then 20 or 10 lakhs. That will be applicable. They will not get the limit of 40 lakhs. Okay? Done till here. And those who are going for voluntarily. That means even your threshold limit does not cross 40, still you want to register. So no issues with that. Chalega? Can we go ahead, everybody? Chalo. This table also covered. Yes? Chalo. What example they are trying to check? Okay, everybody ready, bachcho? Prithviraj of Assam, pay attention, is exclusively engaged in intra-state supply of shoes. Shoes means goods. 40 lakhs, yes or no? Don't check in the answer. You can either remember or check the table. This table you can check. I don't mind. Okay? Okay? Assam bachcho how much? 40. Okay. First of all, that is what you have to identify or keep in mind. His aggregate turnover in the current year is 22 lakhs. Purposely, they are giving you a figure of more than 20. In view of the discussion of the above paragraphs, the applicable threshold limit of is 40 lakhs. Therefore, he is not liable to be registered under GST because of 22 lakhs. And limit is 40. Even if in the above example, please pay attention now. Everything else remaining the same. Prithviraj is exclusively engaged in supply of pan masala. You don't get a limit of 40. You will come back to 20. Yes or no? Then bachcho, because the limit, his threshold limit is 22 and his turnover is 22 and the limit is 20, he will be liable. Okay? If instead of pan masala, again important, is exclusively engaged in supply of services. Again, services bachcho 20 lakhs only, no? Hai na? And he's done turnover 22, he is liable to be registered. Are haan. And lastly, bachcho is doing both taxable goods as well as services. Then again, the limit is 20 lakhs. He will be also liable. Is it clear? Nice example. Bolo. Hi, Anna. Shivaji of Telangana. Telangana bachcho has what? 20 lakhs, no? Goods and services. Goods and services 20. Best tell you, all of you tell me. Are hi, Anna. Is exclusively engaged in the intra-state supply of toys, that is goods. Aggregate turnover 22. Okay? Liable for registration. Okay? Because bachcho it is quite clearly given to us. For Telangana we have, Pondicherry in Telangana bachcho we have 20. If in the above example, all other things remaining same, she was exclusively engaged in making taxable services, still 20 lakhs now. And now 22 lakhs, liable also again. And again, both goods and services, to bachcho we know 20 lakhs, so again liable for registration. Simple. Okay, no? All of you, Khushbu okay? Akshay? Ashok of Manipur, MMNT, both bachcho, goods as well as services 10 lakhs. So only goods 10, only services or goods and services 10. Is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of paper, goods, supply of paper. Aggregate turnover 12, liable. Correct? Even the example, exclusively services, liable. Goods and services liable. Understood? Yes, still here? Raghav of Assam is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of ready-made garments, exclusively goods. And Assam bacho 40. His turnover in the current financial year is 28 lakhs, not liable. But he has another showroom in Tripura, MMNT, 10 lakhs, with a turnover of 11 lakhs in that. It is intrastate only, na, within Tripura. Now, what the limit applicable on him is how much now, Indrajit? 10 lakhs. And his aggregate is how much now? 39. Hi, Anna. He'll be liable to be registered under both the states. So since Raghav is engaged in supplying garments from special category states, the budget threshold limit gets down to 10 lakhs. Further, Raghav is liable to be registered under both Assam and Tripura. Since aggregate turnover 39 lakhs, if you want, you can write down there, exceeds applicable limit of 10 lakhs. Clear till here, all of you? Done, done, bolo. Fine, na? Everybody. Relation required only for a place of business from where taxable supply takes place. So one taxable, one exempt. If you're making two supplies from two locations, you're making two supplies from two locations. From one location taxable, from another location exempt. Hi Anna. Which one compulsory? From where taxable supply happens. But why do we add both of them? One taxable and one non-taxable to check only the aggregate turnover. Hi Anna. Everybody okay till here? Done? Chalo. A person is required to obtain ration in respect of with respect to each place in India from where a taxable supply happens. However, supplier is not liable to obtain ration in a state or UT from where he makes a exempt or non-taxable supply. Okay? Star mark here also. Further threshold limit of a person having places of business in more than one state or UT will get reduced to 10 lakhs only when such person makes taxable supplies of goods and services or both from any of the special category states. Are you getting my point? Yes? However, in case he makes exempt or non-taxable from special category, the threshold limit is not reduced. अरे समझा कि नहीं? Nitin, Khushbu, Indrajit, Mansi, tell me. First of all, Bachu, tell me, do we add all of them? Aggregate? Yes, we have to add. But after addition and that figure you get of aggregate turnover, that you compare with threshold limit. And Bachu, threshold limit, which one will take? The threshold limit will be reduced to the special category limit only if we are also doing a taxable supply from that special category. कुछ समझा कि नहीं नितिन? बोलो बच्चों. हाँ Akshay, okay. Obviously, we'll be doing example on this. But again, you are having, well, let us say, for one from Maharashtra and another bacho from Nagaland. Okay. From Maharashtra bacho, you're doing what? Taxable. And from Nagaland, bacho, you're doing what? Exempt. Your threshold limit will increase or not increase. I mean, your threshold limit will decrease or not decrease. From Maharashtra taxable and from Nagaland exempt. Will your threshold limit decrease? No, it will not decrease. Clear till here? समझा ना all of you? Because threshold limit बच्चों are applicable for taxable supplies. Threshold limits are बच्चों are applicable for taxable supplies. Is it okay, everybody? Can we go ahead, बच्चों? चलेगा? चलो. Uday Enterprises engaged in supply of taxable goods in Maharashtra. So from Maharashtra, taxable. And intra, it will be intra. It also supplies alcoholic liquor for women consumption from Nagaland. Acha, same example. They are copying my examples. Okay. The limit bachcho applicable is 40 lakhs, not 10 lakhs. Hi Anna. Its current turnover in financial year in Maharashtra is 34 and Nagaland bachcho 8. Yes, Celia? So is it bachcho liable for rescission? No. Okay. So exclusive goods from Maharashtra, limit in Maharashtra 40. However, rescission limit will not be reduced to 10 lakhs. As bachcho we are doing a non-taxable supply from special category state. Fine, Delia? Are hi Anna? Sorry. But do we add or no? Sorry. Do we add or no, bachcho? Yes. 34 plus 8. Yes. Sorry. We are not comparing with 10 lakhs. He is liable for registration, bachcho. Sorry. He is liable for registration. But for what reason? 34 plus 8. We add that 8 in the aggregate turnover calculation. 42. But that 42, bachcho, we are not comparing with 10 lakhs. That 42, bachcho, we are comparing with 40 lakhs. Because our threshold limit did not reduce. Why did not reduce? Because you are making bachcho exempt supply or not taxable supply from special category state. Okay or no, all of you? Indrajit, okay. Kushbu, Mansi, Akshay. Okay, everybody? Clear? So, in the given case, the aggregate turnover bachcho exceeds 40 lakhs. Applicable threshold limit of 40 lakhs. Samjha? It is liable to obtain registration. Okay? It will obtain registration between Maharashtra and is not compulsory and not required to obtain registration in Nagaland because from there he is not making any taxable supplies. Even this is important. Yes or no? The small things you have to keep in mind from where it is liable and from where it is not liable to be registered. Okay, everybody? Person liable for registration in case of transfer of business, amalgamation, merger, acquisitions. Okay. So where a business is transferred, whether on account of succession, that means that it is a death of the taxpayer. So business got taken over by the next party, legal heir, or any other reasons, including transfer, change in ownership due to death of the sole proprietor also. To another person as a going concern, the transferee or successor is to be registered with effect from the date of such transfer succession. Okay. Amalgamation, etc. The transfer, if it is amalgamation because of court order, for amalgamation but you require high court order, okay, then transfer is to be registered with the effect from the date on which ROC issues a certificate of incorporation giving such amalgamation order or amalgamation approval. Done till here, all of you? Yes or no? State which of the following suppliers are liable to be registered. Agent supplying taxable goods on behalf of some other taxable person and its aggregate turnover doesn't exceed the applicable threshold limit during the financial year. Do we add or not add? Okay, this is we have not yet covered, bachcho. This we have not yet covered. No. Pure oils Delhi supplied machine oil and high speed diesel in the month of April. The details of which are as follows. Pure oil is not yet registered, but what it sells, machine oil which is liable for GST and diesel is not liable for GST. Okay, so we add this. Supply of machine oil made in Punjab by Pure Oils from its branch located in Punjab. So branch to branch, that is not a supply, not yet registered. Hi Anna. But is what bachcho? Exclusively goods or no? Yes, Shilya? Exclusively goods. Supply of machine oil made in Punjab by Pure Oils from its branch. Achha, sorry. My mistake. What it is given? Achha. Pure Oils Delhi. So Delhi to Delhi it is intra. This is also bachcho intra. Made in Punjab. Another branch. Okay. Supply of machine oils made in Punjab by Pure Oils from its branch located in Punjab. So again Punjab to Punjab. This transaction number 3 is what about sale. Okay, it is not branch transfer. I thought it is branch transfer. It is they have one more branch in Punjab, and from Punjab to Punjab they are making a sale. So we add that bacho. Why? Because of aggregate level. Clearly here? Aggregate bacho all India basis. So do we add all of them? Yes. Are they doing exclusive goods? Yes. So we add 3 of them, okay? 35. But not crossing 40. Let's check the answer, okay? Fourth. Hey Bhagwan. Such a big answer. My goodness. Achha, why did I say? So aggregate turnover is what? 35, na? The little big story is given there, but okay. But limit, the threshold limit applicable is what? 40. These type of questions that bacho then are asked to you, okay? They'll give you the numbers, details, and then obviously they'll be asking you whether liable or not liable. You have to show the answer properly. Look at the answer. As per section 22. Then you're giving the story from which state normally what threshold limit is applicable. है ना? So 40 lakhs बच्चों for rest of India. But except if you're doing business of ice cream, tobacco and all of that. है ना? Pan masala. ठीक है? Then what all do we add in the aggregate turnover? Taxable, exempt, export, all interstate having same pan on all India basis. है ना? Correct? Again, exclusion बच्चों they are also telling you. Then on these items GST is not applicable. The bachcho is exempt supply of high speed diesel, है ना? But will be included bachcho while calculating only aggregate turnover. Therefore, no background of all of this, what will you take for aggregate turnover for the calculation of aggregate turnover? Okay, dear all of you. Done or no? Done everybody? So fourth we have covered. Sorry. What will be your answer if in question 8 it is 4 above, serial number 2, maybe, okay? Pure Oils supplies the high speed diesel in Delhi in the capacity of an agent of Mixed Oils Limited. If bachcho agent is supplying on behalf of principal, I think some cases should not get mixed unnecessarily. That we'll see later on. Okay? We'll see later on bachcho then. Fifth one. Sixth. Ready bachcho? Question based on registrations, है ना? चलो. Ready? Examine whether they are liable or not. Raghav of Assam exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of ready-made garments goods. Turnover bachcho is 33. He has another showroom in Tripura, 11. What is the due in Tripura that we don't know? Liable. Reason? Aggregate is how much? 45. Sorry, 44. Whatever. But compared to what, bachcho? Tripura is 10 lakhs, na beta? For both goods and services or whatever. MMNT. So what's your 44? More than 10. So liable. Pulkita Panjim, Goa is exclusively engaged in intrastate taxable supply of shoes. Aggregate turnover is 22. Not liable. Why? Exclusive bachcho goods in all of the states in the India, 40 lakhs. Correct. Harshud of HP is exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of pan masala, 40 lakhs not available. 40 lakhs bachcho definitely not available. Yes, and only MMNT bachcho have 10 lakhs now. So what applicable? 20 lakhs for HP. हाँ या ना? Correct ना? Which three special UT bachcho, not UT, special category states had 40 lakhs limits? HP including HP ना, correct. So Assam, J&K and HP ना बच्चों, 40 lakhs is available, but because of pan masala, it is not available. So it will come back to what? 20. Therefore, liable. अरे हाँ, तो 6 month liable, not liable, liable. Let's check. Done till here? Quickly, bachcho, go through the answer. Check what are they giving the entire story. 22 liability, threshold limits, and all this and that. Aggregate turnover we take, है ना? ऐसे this all these categories which you have to see, bachcho. 40 lakhs, whether or not this, but except supplying these items, है ना? Done till here? So they're giving you all the reasons together only at one single place. Okay? Important, okay? He's making much of taxable supplies from that state also, no? Tripura. So even in Tripura required. Goa 40 lakhs, so within limit. Pan masala not eligible for higher limit of 40 lakhs. Okay? Done till here, all of you. So 22 we've done. Then we're jumping to 24. 23 we'll do. 23 is bacho exemption for registration. Okay, that also we'll do. 24. Compulsory registration. Compulsory registration in certain cases. Section 24. Turnover may be 0 or turnover may be anything. So basically, obviously, irrespective of turnover. You have to get yourself registered. Okay. There are cases supplier has to obtain registration irrespective of quantum of aggregate turnover. So even if aggregate turnover doesn't exceed threshold limit, he has to compulsorily obtain registration. Exemptions are given in section 23 that we will do in some time. Chalo. Compulsory registration check बच्चों. Any interstate supply, taxable supply, interstate taxable supply, even if 1 rupee, you have to pay GST or rather get yourself registered. Okay. However, threshold limit of 20 lakhs and 10 lakhs in case of MMNT is available in case of interstate supply of only services and of notified handicraft goods. I don't know, we had discussed this handicraft goods, bacho. What was handicraft? Handmade. Yes, that also notified, huh? Not everything. You might have heard of handmade soaps. Have you heard? Handmade soaps. Yes, maybe. So that is what bacho handicraft. But again, we are talking about handicraft items only. Okay, handicraft. That also notified goods. So exemption is there for if it is interstate supply of goods. Interstate supply of goods, even of 1 rupee, if it is goods, then you have to get yourself registered. If you give much interstate services up to 20 lakhs or 1 or 10 lakhs interstate, then you are exempted. Otherwise, bacho compulsorily taxable. Then CTP. CTP, NRTP, bacho, that we'll see in detail. Who are the CTP and NRTP, that we'll see later on. Okay. CTP, casual taxable person, that we will see later on. Making taxable supply. Again, however, threshold limit of 20 and 10 is available in case of CTP is making interstate taxable supplies of notified handicraft goods and availing the benefit of exemption from point number 1 above. Persons who are required to pay tax under RCM, remember or no now? So on that transaction, if RCM is applicable, you have to compulsory get yourself registered, because you will be calculating and paying the taxes to the government. Okay. However, person engaged exclusively in making outward supplies on which RCM is applicable are exempt from registration. Okay, that means if you're providing only that service, okay, or that goods on which RCM is applicable, then you need not register. Who needs to register? The person who is liable to pay tax under RCM. That means who? Supplier or recipient? Recipient. NRTP, also will see who are NRTP. Non-resident taxable person, will see that in detail. Then e-commerce operator, eco, like Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, Make My Trip, and all of that, है ना? Who is required to collect tax at source. So in GST also will have, in GST also will have TCS and TDS, okay? Who is required to collect tax at source, but we don't have in detail right now. Under section 52 of the eco means any person who owns, operates, or manages digital or electronic facility or platform. Then persons who supply goods and services through eco. However, such a limit bachcho is applicable of 20 lakhs and 30 lakhs in case of suppliers being supplying services through eco. Then again, the person required to deduct tax at source or deduct tax under section 51, whether or not liable to be registered, they need to be registered. Then point number 7, we'll see all of them in detail later on. This I was telling you. Persons who make taxable similar goods or services both on behalf of other taxable persons, whether as an agent or otherwise. So if principal is registered, if principal is registered, then agent has to be compulsorily registered. ISD, input service distributor, again right now you don't have in syllabus at inter level. It is explained and given at final level. And every person supplying OIDAR services from a place outside India to a person in India, your Netflix, Amazon, Disney Hotstar, your music services, which one we have now? Notify, not Notify, what is that? Spotify. Or any kind of any other music app, all those services are provided through online application, है ना? Hello Kushal, good afternoon. I'm good, dear. I'm good. How are you? Okay, everybody. Persons who are required to pay tax under 9(5) RCM and such other persons as may be notified by the government, that we will do. So we'll be doing examples on them. Okay, so don't worry. Finally, yeah. So what is OIDAR? Online information and database access retrieval. When you're watching a movie, it is in some database. The database which is stored maybe in foreign server. Hi Anna. So when any kind of online services are given from a place from outside India, it can be again software services, gaming services, music services, website development services, Canva you might have heard bachcho, है ना? That is all bachcho what? OIDAR services. Done? This all bachcho TDS, TCS, OIDAR bachcho will be done at final level, है ना? So you don't remember, you don't have to understand what we have. OIDAR given in the textbook. Okay. CTB and NRTB will be dealing with them soon, so don't worry. Alright, so that is it for right now, everybody. है ना? We'll go one by one, one by one, one by one. Practice is needed, but no doubt about it. है ना? चलो, everybody. Okay, bye everybody. I'll tell you about next lecture. हाँ.
Recording stopped.
अभी GST अभी शाम को तो नहीं है, डायरेक्टली 6:30 बजे नहीं इंद्रजीत. I have other lectures. I'll see you for 6. हाँ 6:30 I'll see you for fast track law. Okay, वरना tomorrow itself. Okay, for our regular law and GST. Okay, all of you. कौन सा लिंक सेंड करूँ? अच्छा, फास्ट ट्रैक का तुम सेंड कर दोगे उसको इंद्रजीत? विल यू डू दैट? ठीक है एवरीबॉडी. सो GST तुम्हारा कल रहेगा, ठीक है अक्षय? चलो यूट्यूब वालों, बाय बाय. तुमको मैं मिलता हूँ फास्ट